this video, I'm going to be talking about ideal fabric choices for a beginner. Fabric choice is quite important because if you choose a difficult fabric for your first project, it's going to put you off sewing. So you want to choose something that's going to work for you. So firstly, I'm going to go through the fabrics that you shouldn't choose. And we're going to start with the first one, which is a sheer fabric. A fabric like this that you can see through. It's very difficult to work with. It is actually quite slippy, and you will see, if you sew on this, you're going to see every stitch, and any mistake you make will be easily seen. So definitely avoid any sheer fabrics. Okay, next fabric I'd say to avoid is anything that has a shine to it, like this. Any silky, lovely, soft, flowing fabrics, beautiful as they look, they're very hard to work with. They slip around. When you try and cut them, as you're cutting the fabric, it's moving. You pin it together, then try and sew it, and it moves as you sew it. Very difficult to work with. So I would save that for a project a little bit further down the line when you've got a little bit of experience behind you. Right. Okay, these are similar. Sorry, I've got these out. I've not looked at these yet. But these are other shiny fabrics that I've found, and this one is a nylon fabric. It's a vintage lining fabric, I think. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, avoid these. So that's those. Right, another thing to avoid is stretch fabrics, knitted fabrics. Anything that stretches, I would avoid. They're going to, while you're trying to sew them, they stretch, they move around. You'll also need a special needle for sewing these and special stitches, so avoid them for now. Okay, right. I would also stay away from anything with a very, you see this, got it upside down, with a very large pattern on it. Because if you have to match this up, it's going to be quite tricky for a first project. So avoid large patterns. This is actually curtain fabric. Right, we're getting a little bit warmer now. This is a cotton polyester mix. So it's probably about 80% polyester, 20% cotton. It looks like cotton from a distance. It doesn't crease like cotton does. And it's just not quite as easy to work with as cotton is. It's okay. If you bought a polycotton mix, you'd do okay. But I would suggest 100% cotton. It's much nicer to work with. It doesn't move about too much when you're cutting it. It doesn't slide around on the sewing machine. It basically does what you want it to do. And these are all cottons. You've got plain cottons, prints. So nice cotton, either a plain colour or something that doesn't need to be matched up or has a small print. Let me have a look for the small prints. Okay. Right, found a small print. Something like this would be absolutely ideal. It's a nice quilter's cotton and it's got a very small pattern on. You don't need to match that. It's fine as it is. I think that's it. Just to recap, we don't want any fabric that is shiny, see-through, stretchy, thick, or with a large pattern. Cotton is the ideal fabric. In fact, a quilter's cotton is the ideal fabric. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this was useful to you. If you have enjoyed it, please could you like and subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate that. Thank you very much.